Hey everybody, this is FireXRed giving you a shoutcast. This is game 2 of a best of 3 between Adelscott, our orange Protoss buddy up here in the top, and DuckloadRa, our red Protoss player in the bottom left. This is a PvP, best of 3 as I said. Uh, I won't spoil the first game for you, but this is the second game of the series. And we are on, what is this map called? Xel'Naga Caverns, because of this giant Xel'Naga cavern in the middle. And then the little Xel'Naga Caverns also here. A pretty good map. A lot of people like to play on this map. It's not really favored for any one race. People are able to get up expansions easily. There are quite a few expansions. Here, once you break those rocks, break more rocks to get your gold right up here. We see chrono boosting on the probes going down for Duckload and chrono boosting going down for Adelscott. Take a look at the production. Almost synced up exactly. Adelscott just a tiny bit ahead, but not a huge deal. Gateway going down for both players on 12. Very standard stuff going down. Duckload just kind of checking out his base, making sure there's no sort of pylon being put there or any sort of cannons. Doesn't want to go out like that. Not the way anybody wants to go out, in fact. See if they're going to put down their gas here soon. Oh, yep. Duckload does put down his gas. And a pylon instead going down for Adelscott. Usually this is about the time where you want to get your gas as Protoss. He's delaying that just a little bit. We'll see what he's going to do with that. Still chrono boosting on the Nexus to get those probes out just a little quicker. This gateway is about to finish. Let's see if DuckloadRa throws down a cyber core. He looks like he wants to. He has the minerals for it. Bam, there goes down the cybernetic core. And another gateway actually instead for Adelscott, rather than the cyber cores. And just now the gas coming down. A very late gas at 20. And DuckloadRa, you crazy guy, stealing minerals from Adelscott. I hope that comes back to Adelscott just needs 5 minerals for like a mothership or something. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. But a zealot being popped out, another zealot being, or a zealot popped out already, another zealot being made, making those pylons. There the cybernetic still goes down very late. As we see, the warp gate research already started by the time that Adelscott gets his cybernetic core down. DuckloadRa is going to be able to warp in units. He's going to be able to just build units a little bit faster because with the warp gates, you just build units faster than if you're just building them out of the gateway. So, cyber core gonna finish soon. We do have 2 gateways against 2 gateways here, but like I said, Duckload is just gonna be able to build units a little bit faster. If he gets a proxy pylon with this probe right here, there won't even be all this distance that he has to travel to get to Adelscott's base. And Adelscott, oh man, what a genius. Just beautiful scouting. He knows that people like to do that. And Zealots, Stalkers just do not do a lot of damage to Zealots. We can see that they can micro against them forever, but it's really hard for them to just to kill a Zealot. Zealots just have so much life, and Stalkers only do 10 damage to them, so with this amount of Zealots, Adelscott is going to be able to hold off quite a bit from DuckloadRa. And we see another gateway going down for Adelscott, as well as another gateway going down for our DuckloadRa buddy. And warp gate research is just about to complete. He'll probably change these into warp gates. There it goes. And as we see, this warp gate research for Adelscott is just not even close to being done, because he got such a late cyber core, and he did get a couple more units out in the beginning. Because he got that late cyber core, he got a couple of zealots out quicker, but Duckload is just going to be able to reinforce. Here's the proxy pylon that I was talking about. He gets that, and there's just cuts the distance in half that he has to travel. So now a lot of stalkers pushing up here for DuckloadRa. They can kite these zealots for forever, but with these stalkers, they're not going to. With the stalkers shooting back, they're not going to be able to do that. Another gateway going down. So a total of 4 gateways for Adelscott so far. More units being warped in for Duckload. He knows that he can use those zealots to tank some damage of his own. And a pylon going down for somebody. And it looks like DuckloadRa being very bold with that pylon. Wants to be able to warp in right at Adelscott's ramp. And Zealots whacking away at each other. Stalkers shooting away at each other. And still, just now the warp gate is completing. That's how long that cybernetics core was delayed. You can just tell. It takes quite a toll if you delay that cybernetics core. And DuckloadRa warping in more units right at the base of Adelscott's ramp, and Adelscott trying to get in some Zealots as well of his own. Neither player expanding right now. Both just kind of controlling their units, doing what they can. Good control from both parts, on both parts. More units being warped in for Duckload. And we'll probably see another round of warp in soon, right here from Adelscott. Doing a nice job of keeping those hurt stalkers alive. And more, here we go, Zealots being warped in. They're going to take a lot of the damage, and the stalkers will be able to hold off those other stalkers. More units being warped in for Adelscott. He will be able to hold this first attack off. And it looks like he has quite a bit of money and quite a bit of probes. He really wants to expand, it looks like. But that pressure from DuckloadRa was just preventing him from throwing down that expansion. And we do see this pylon still here. Adelscott's going to be able to take that out with just one Zealot. And Adelscott a little bit of a counterattack coming up here. He knows that he wants to see what exactly Duckload is doing, White is doing. There is a sentry here with enough energy for a force field, so he's going to try and push up, but he gets force fielded at the ramp. And he does have more units, but with that choke point there, if Duckload controls it well, he would be able to hold that off, most likely. So Adelscott just pushes a little bit, and he does throw that expansion. He puts a little pressure on, and then throws up the expansion. I really, really like that. Still building, or still has a lot of probes. He's going to be able to transfer once this finishes and just get a ton of minerals. And just scouting around with all these guys out here, Duckload with a probe, a couple stalkers out for Adelscott. Just scouting around, making sure that nothing fishy is going on. We do see that robotics facility is done, and the Robo Bay is going down. So Duckload has a pretty good amount of gateway units to reinforce these Colossus, or the Colossi that will be coming out. But as we see, Adelscott just has way more gateway units. Look at the army tab right here. 72 to 56 right now in favor of Adelscott. And we do see that +1 going down. I really like that. With these 5 warp gates, he has the ability to produce a lot of units, but he has no detection, and he knows that. Adelscott knows that, so he throws down a photon cannon here. It's going to be able to detect all this area here, so he's not susceptible to DTs. Duckload did see that he was just making warp gate units, so he could have tried to possibly get some DTs out and just mess with him that way. But, of course, Adelscott knows what he's doing. He gets that photon cannon down just in time. Another gateway going down. 2 more gateways going down. That brings him up to, what is that? 7 gateways total. So just a ton of gateways, producing a lot of gateway units. Duckload does get a little bit supply blocked here, but not a big deal. Oh yeah, quite a long time with supply blocked. Actually, that could really hurt. This Colossus really needs to get out. Just minerals being absolutely wasted at the moment until this pylon finishes. Kind of a pretty big mistake for DuckloadRa. In the meantime, +1 almost done being researched. You could probably chrono boost that out. We see that even professional players like this just start to get up a lot of energy when they have multiple nexi. It's just hard to figure out what to use that energy on as Protoss, but I'm sure people will start getting better at it. We see he's walking down some probes, or not some probes, some pylons. Adelscott is, so we'll be able to warp in units all the way across the field. Back at home, everything's looking normal. Very great saturation here on this expansion. Photon cannon there. Even more walking down with the pylons. It's got to be a name for that, I'm sure. And here's the engagement. Just a huge army for Adelscott. Duckload does have those Colossus, but we're going to see quickly how Colossus without support just doesn't do well at all. They just die so quickly with no support. They're just dead. They just die. I mean, No better way to say it. They just die so quickly without support. And Adelscott even warping in more units because it's pylon right here. And there's the GG. Duckload asking to make the next game. So we're going to go on to game 3 of... Oh, there, I just spoiled the first game. Darn it. Game 3 of the best of 3 series. This is FireX Fred. Thank you for watching. And look out for the next game.